Hi guys, welcome to Coordinating Against Colorism. Thank you, my brothers and sisters who never let go of me. And I know some people were wondering how is my process going with the fury of the president against what seems to be all Americans. I don't think anybody, the president is moving very fast. Within less than a month, he's hiring a trickle of his own billionaires or whatnot. He's angry. The president is angry, and it reminds me of Jonathan Edwards' sermon, "Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God." This reminds me, the anger and fury of President Trump reminds me of Jonathan Edwards, "Sinners in the hands of an angry God." The American people are the sinners who are in the hands of Donald Trump. And what have America done to Donald Trump that makes him so angry? And is he justified? Well, before I discuss that, okay, yeah, it's happening. It is happening to me, and I'm just taking it one day at a time at this point. Both jobs are at risk. Department of Education is at risk of extinction, and of course, in the federal employment, every day is something new. So I got to work yesterday at 4, and as soon as I got there, lead tech tells me, "You have to answer the letter. You have to answer the letter now, directive by the chief of staff." So I was like, oh my God. I didn't want to answer the letter. I'm like, this is too much, And the weird thing is, I heard about the letter on Saturday. And when I went and I looked to see, was it really Saturday that this happened? And it was only on Saturday that this happened. On the 22nd, a letter was sent via the Department of the Human Resources, OPM.gov. And of course, I usually don't pay attention to these letters because it says external mail, since it's not internal to the hospital, but it is from it. We're told that it's serious, so it is of high importance. And apparently, the chief had emailed us that day, that Monday, on Monday, that we had to pay attention to it. So what is of concern to me is that we had only Monday to respond to the letter. So that means that if I had to work the weekend, maybe I would have found out on the weekend, but I wouldn't have had any supervisors to tell me that I had to respond to the letter. So I probably would not have found out unless somebody would have called me to tell me, like the lead, the assistant, under the chief, right? So suppose I was the one working on Saturday with the part-time, the per diem tech, right? And we were not advised to read this letter on Saturday or Sunday. That means that I would have been off yesterday, and accordingly, it was told that if we did not respond, we would have gotten fired. That this is what the lead tech told me, that Elon Musk, when he acquired Twitter to fire people, he sent them a similar letter. And I'm gonna hide every information so that you guys can see the letter. Alright, so you can see 3 lines, barely 3 lines, it's really only 2 lines. Okay, so the other information is hidden. He sent them a similar letter. This says, "Please reply to this email with approximate 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachments. Deadline is Monday at 11:59 p.m., which is the end of my shift. And my shift starts at 4 p.m. So if I was off that day, and usually when I'm off, I'm usually tired. Lately, I don't know, I have not been so tired, but suppose I was off and tired and just needing to rest. And then I had this deadline, and the thing is, I don't have access to my email outside of the work site because, this is you have to consider patients' privacy. So I don't have access outside. So I would not have been able to get this email to respond. So that means that my job would have been in jeopardy. And I'm like, but this is the feds. I mean, why is this like that? So it seems like right now I'm really tied to the politics, where everything that comes down from the federal government, whether I'm into politics or not, I have to be 100% alert. Decision making, it's like you don't have a lot of time to feel or whatever. So this is the state that it's at. It's pretty bad. And it would have been worse for me if I were at the stage of when I was a beginning teacher and I had a mortgage to pay and I had a future ahead of me and I didn't know what was of my future. That would have been worse. The thing is, I've saved up for bad times. It's like I wasn't born with a silver spoon like some people. So through my life, I've always saved up, and I'm ready for anything. But at the same time, you know that you cannot depend on being ready for anything, right? Because the moves that are being made are sometimes astounding, shocking, and unpredictable. And where does this come from? Has the president lost his mind? Why is he doing this? Why is he letting this Elon Musk, the boy whose father with his own mouth said that he used to make fun of other kids in school, calling them stupid, and the father justified with the schoolmaster that that he deserved, I guess the punishment was suspension or something, and he got angry and went to live with his mother, who had separated with the dad at the time. So this is the person who is making the decisions for American people. And the other problem is he's like me. He's a neutralized. I don't know if he's neutralized, but he wasn't born here. But I was raised here. He wasn't even raised here. And he's making the decision for all of Americans. So it's very scary. And this makes you think, oh my God, why is Trump selling Americans over like this? Trump has sold all of our social security numbers, so that's basically our identity card as Americans. Americans, neutralized citizens or born citizens. He has sold America over, and it scares everybody. Some people is like, don't even talk. Don't even talk. I'm talking because guys, don't kill me. Some people are gonna say, oh, you deserve it, oh, it's your fault, all of this is happening. I was among the Americans who voted for Trump, and some people think we voted for him because of money. He's gonna give us money. I'd never voted for Trump because he was gonna give me money. What ended up happening was that back in 2016, I guess, almost 10 years ago, when the voting came down, I discovered something in Trump that really hit home for me. The torture that I had been going through just scorn and general social scorn and social isolation, I saw happening to Trump. And the meaning of what you are and your identity, I saw happening to Trump. So I wanted to vote for him so badly in 2016, but I never got that chance to vote for him. I think the precincts closed or something, like they sent me away or something like that. I didn't get a chance to vote for him. So I was pretty much sobered when he won the 2016 election, because I felt as if America needed somebody who wasn't popular and somebody who actually had common sense, because he always had common sense. And I know some people don't think he does, but according to me, he had common sense in what he was saying in 2016, and he turned out that what I expected him, he did more. There was more peace, less wars, and he talks about that later, but he didn't initially talk about that much. and I agreed with him on the part when it came to COVID, against the vaccine, all of that. So I was okay with him. So of course I wanted to vote for him in 2020. And at the time I was undergoing some traumatic situations in my house with what they call an illegal detainee, and it was like everything she wished for went happened. So I ended up being kicked out of the precinct. I was waiting in line, then kicked out, told that it was closed, so I didn't vote, and he lost. So I crossed my finger because the vaccine thing had scared me. And so when the economy went sour and I saw all this craziness that was happening, even though, yes, I mean, I was able to get a federal job under Biden, which now Trump wants to remove, but I mean, that's not even the point. The point is when you look at the bigger picture, what is happening. So of course, I finally got a chance to vote for him, so there were a lot of things that were happening also around him. There were 2 attempts to kill him. And this comes down to my explanation of my letter that I got yesterday, last minute, answer or possibly risk, like the Twitter employees, of getting fired from what is federal, what is for the people, by the people, for the people, government. But and the icon and the model of that has been for the world of what democracy is all about now, becoming like a dictatorship. But I have to really think back and see, and even my freedom of speech is now, people are like, don't talk. I'm like, I'm just gonna voice my opinion. I know some people disagree with me. Hey, people have been disagreeing with me forever, and this is one of the reasons why I supported the Trump ideology prior to him becoming so angry. His actions this term is anger, and last term when he first served, there was no attempt to kill him. Okay, there was no back and forth through the entire time that Trump was sitting and waiting to run again. I mean, he went through hell. He went through the same hell that I was in 2016 when I wanted to vote for him in the first place. I mean, court system, and they entered his private, personal private information, and some people are arguing that he's a criminal. I never watched it. I don't know what it's about. But I really feel as if he's worked hard for what he has. He built on what his father left him, the legacy of his father. And whatever it is, I don't think that he should have gone through that, and I definitely don't think that he should have had his life risked like that. So he feels as if he is alive for a reason, that God didn't take him, and he needs to fight against that kind of criminality that is happening. So this is where I'm like, well, I'm ready to take it. I guess I could get fired, I mean, they may not need my position as a med technologist, or they might want to bring down the medical staff, which would mean less requirements in the veterans hospitals. Of course, you still have to serve the veterans in the manner that you promised, but hey, I mean, he's firing left and right, so anything can happen. But it's, at the same time, it comes down to humanity. Yeah, he doesn't seem to care about anybody's lives and how they're going to feed their children and their families, but they didn't care about not they. The people who attempted to take his life didn't care about his life, and he's angry. So Trump is very angry at us, and he was willing to sell anybody over. It's like indiscriminately, it didn't matter. And why wouldn't it matter? Well, the young person who attempted to kill him, or so they saw, was the 18-year-old, right? Was registered as a Republican. So it doesn't matter who you say you are, what you say you did, if he has he feels like he has the authority to like who he wants, trust who he wants at this time. It really doesn't matter. So I feel that kind of attitude is what and he is going about to make sure that he is able to execute everything that he said he was going to do as soon as he can before they stop him, or before anybody tries to stop him. At least he would know that he would have accomplished it. And this is what I think this is happening. Yikes. Yeah, but my job is on the line. I now have to report, like, what I did last week. I don't know what's next, and this has happened within the course of 2 weeks from the initial letter. The letter to resign gave you like less than a week to decide. This one gave you less than 24 hours, because I really found out within 8 hours time that I had to do this, to make my decision on sending this email of what I did last week. So I sent it. All of my colleagues encouraged me to send it. And the chief, of course, having sent us the letter, I respect the chief a lot. So it's only normal for me to respond and send it. And the letter that the chief sent us was CC'd from higher up, an executive director of the hospital, saying to the Miami VA family, I know by now you are learning of the latest email going out to all federal employees asking for 5 bulleted accomplishments last week by Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Many of us have begun to receive emails today, and this was sent on the 22nd. Actually, this was Saturday, February 22nd, but of course I wasn't there to get it until Monday, and over the weekend. I mean, really, people have to work, people have to sleep and rest too. We're humans. What is this country becoming? Our own federal government, our angry president, our angry president. Many of us have begun to receive emails today, and many are asking for guidance. My recommendation for now, in the absence of any further clarification, is to use this opportunity to shine and show off what you do in 5 succinct bullets. To me, this is similar to the end of year when you have an opportunity to develop self-assessments, highlight how good you are, and share what you do to take care of our heroes, and how you support those who take care of our heroes in a daily basis. Our mission remains unchanged. In doing this, Miami VA in doing what we do on a daily basis to exceed expectations. We will continue to provide the highest quality care and services to our veterans and their families. We will provide updates as they become available. All right, so this was from the executive director on Saturday. And the letter from the HR, that was after the subsequent letters day after day asking for us to go ahead and resign. That was this Saturday that this happened. So I'm sobered by it. It's a reality, the reality that we live in today as government employers. I guess he wants to clean out old house and bring in his own house. He's firing left and right. It was told to me by my lead tech that about 1,000 IRS officials were fired. So this is the reality of today. Now, let me share with you the anger that I feel that Trump is going through, and I'm gonna be okay. We keep praying because all of our countries have issues. My country of birth, everybody has already come in here to remind me back in the past when I was doing reaction after reaction, right? To remind me of the criminal activities that are going on in Haiti, right? And here, this country where my parents brought me for refuge, right now is undergoing this thing where our leader, our elected leader, have gone through so much that he's just angry. He's just angry at every American. Americans in the hand of an angry Trump, of an angry Donald Trump, of an angry leader, of an angry president. This is what it has boiled down to. So all of these causes have been argued. Was it really true that they attempted to murder him? And is it not the fact that the man is a criminal? But when they put him in through the trials that he went through under Biden. Let's see. At his age, I don't know. You know, again, I say I don't follow up, but think about it. Humiliation, undermining of character, betrayal, attempt to obliterate, you know, demeaning, the demeaning behaviors that he had when he was in office the first time. He wasn't gonna put up with it anymore, and this is, I guess this was his plan of how he's not gonna put up with it, you know. And everybody's scared now, you know, because he was being open and transparent before, but I guess maybe the put downs, you know, he's showing the strength of his power now. You know, he's showing you that he's a powerful man and he can do whatever he says, you know. So just think a bit of it. I mean, what he's doing, sometimes some people will argue, but he's a convicted criminal. What else do you expect? But at the same time, he's human. He's human, and we have to think of how we, like Americans, bleed people, how we use the populace to harm people who may be innocent. So long as we can prove with our own community mouths or whatever, you know, that's justifiable to us. So what he's doing, is it right? I don't know. I have no words. I have no words what he's doing. But what was done to him, I know for sure it wasn't right. And we are human. And sometimes community, society forgets that they are dealing with a human being. I don't know. We have to keep praying. We gotta pray for Donald Trump. We have to keep praying for America and for the values that built this country. I made that face because we have to remember our natives. The irony and hypocrisy of it all. So, do you understand the complete hypocrisy when we realize what Europeans, I guess, have done to the Native Americans, you know? This is the reality. So, nonetheless, as we deal with this complex situation here, you know, I'm not African American, so I can't even say, but I not from the British, but from the French, you know. I'm Haitian, running here, not by choice, but by parental choice, you know. The parents put me here. And now I'm here, I'm American citizen, neutralized, because I knew no other thing. And I did not have the skill to be able to go back and say I'm going to build Haiti. I don't even have the human force to be able to say that, you know. So I have to be here understanding Trump. I mean, Trump is in the same boat, was in the same boat as me. You know, he has the power and everything, and they were undermining all of who he was, his identity. So now he is attacking all of American identity. Me, it was just that I used to be this scholarly person who understood what everything was around me was happening, and yet a lot of things people were trying to get away with using the populace again, just like they did to Trump. So I understand the system that Trump doesn't like and that he's eliminating. I am within the federal system, so yeah, my job may be in jeopardy. So anyways, let me share with you why I came here to compare Trump with the God of Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards, angry God. Sinners in the hands of an angry God. We find it easy to tread on and crush a worm that we see crawling on the earth. So it is easy for us to cut or singe a slender thread that anything hangs by. Thus easy it is for God when he pleases to cast his enemies down to hell. So easy it is for Trump as he pleases now, during the time that Congress does not revolt, and decide to impeach him, that he can just go and fire everybody. They are now the objects of that very same anger and wrath of God that is expressed in the torments of hell. And the reason why they do not go down to hell at each moment is not because God, in whose power they are, is not then very angry with them. As angry as he is with many miserable creatures now tormented in hell, who there feel and bear the fierceness of his wrath. Yeah, God is a great deal more angry with great numbers that are now on earth. Yeah, doubtless. With many that are now in the congregation. I guess in the federal government, right? Who it may be or at ease, then he is with many of those who are now in the flames of hell. So this was Jonathan Edwards' opening paragraph to sinners in the hands of an angry God. As we federal employees start to realize that we are in the hands of an angry, oh my God, what is it that they call the president I see in the military? Okay, of an angry commander-in-chief. So that it is not because God is unmindful of their wickedness and does not resent it, that he does not let loose his hand and cut them off. God is not altogether such an one as themselves, though they may imagine him to be so. The wrath of God burns against them. Their damnation does not slumber. The pit is prepared. The fire is made ready. The furnace is not now hot. Hot it is in America. The furnace is now hot, ready to receive them. The flames do not rage and glow. The glittering sword is wet and held over them, and the pit hath opened its mouth under them. Unconverted men walk over the pit of hell. And for Trump, it's not about whether or not you support him, you convert for him. He does not care. Okay? It is whatever he feels like. Okay? That is what it is. But again, he is human. But then again, whether you argue it or not, even if you were to say that the attempted murders were fake and staged, okay? Even if you were to say that they were fake and staged, the reality of what his age, what ailments he may have, versus the torture that he had to go through in and out of court is basically as if it was an attempted murder. If you understand what I mean. So even if the attempted murders were not the case, but the court proceedings alone, we don't know how many times he may have had to go to the hospital, how many times he may have felt like he was on the verge of death, based on the mannerism in which he was attacked. Okay? Based on the mannerism in which he was attacked. So, what he went through, I mean, I some people, unless you are in it, and this is what the sinners in the hands of an angry God, like some people are so complacent, not really, because maybe they've never gone through that, and they think that what Trump went through was okay, that he was a criminal, that what they were accusing him. For me, I'm still very vague on what he did. I didn't see him kill anybody. I didn't see him steal from people. I mean, I don't know. But then again, Now I can say this, but like, if the tables were reverted, of course I would be in the complete, um, I would be completely politically incorrect. You know what I mean? But I never really saw what Trump did to deserve that kind of whipping, and now he holds the whip. So that thus it is that natural men are held in the hand of God over the pit of hell. They have deserved the fiery pit and are already sentenced to it, and God is dreadfully provoked. His anger is as great toward them as to those that are actually suffering the executions of the fierceness of his wrath in hell. And they have done nothing in the least to appease or abate that anger. Neither is God in the least bound by any promise to hold them up up one moment. The devil is waiting for is waiting for them. Hell is gaping for them. The flames gather and flash about them, and would fain lay hold on them and swallow them up. The fire pent up in their own hearts is struggling to break out, and they have no interest in any mediator. There are no means within reach that can be any security to them. In short, they have no refuge, nothing to hold to. Is this the end times? Is this the end times for those who believe in Christianity? The bow of God's wrath is bent and the arrow made ready on the string, and justice bends the arrows at your hand and strains the bow, and is nothing but the mere pleasure of God, that of an angry God, without any promise. And of course, who's being used as that pleasure is Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is displaying the pleasure without any promise or obligation at all, that keeps the arrow one moment from being made drunk with your blood. Thus all you that never passed under a great change of heart by the mighty power of the Spirit of God upon your souls, all you that were never born again and made new creatures. So this is the altar call. But what I'm saying here is that, of course, Trump is not God. He's human. He's mortal. But this is the thing, is that should we only do that because we know that there is an eternal being behind? Should we only behave accordingly for eternal beings? We should not behave accordingly to our own brothers and sisters who are alive, to our own fellow human beings. Oh boy. So maybe we should think twice about how we have treated Trump over the past 8 years. Yeah, over the past 8 years. So 8-9 years, we need to really think twice about how we have treated him, remembering that he is a human being like us, and understanding his anger right now as he uses the power of sovereignty to exercise his desire. But of course, the basic principles of the Declaration of Independence, of which I was not a part. I mean, actually, like, the natives were called savages in that Declaration of Independence. So basically, even me, I would have been even worse than a savage. I'm a woman and then I'm black. Oh, DEI. But hey, I do appreciate the fact that he actually identify us, our gender, by the gametes we produce. I still like that idea, rather than people judging you by what you look like. So nonetheless, we need to consider that this guy is angry. He's exercising everything he thinks, to justify his means of how angry he is at what America did to him, what America did to him. The betrayals, the attempts to assassin, the put down of character, the humiliation of opening up his privacy, entering his sex life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't go into Trump's sex life. I know he had 3 wives. I mean the late Ivana, Marlo or something like that, and now this one. But I don't go into his private sex life, what he does to women, but all of that, I guess, maybe it drove him over the edge. It drove him over the edge, and as we have elected this president, we may seek to consider our ways of treating others when they are not of the popular, you know, and accepting people, for who they are, and 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 acknowledging the transparencies instead of embracing the popular lies, things like that. I don't know. That's my opinion. Anyway, the bottom line is my job is at stake because I am in the hands of an angry president. I am in the hands of an angry President Trump. But God bless America and God bless you for watching Claudine Etienne Against Colorism. And God bless all of those who are keeping me in your prayers. I haven't prayed much lately, guys. I haven't prayed much. So many things on my mind. So many things on my mind. And the thing about prayer is that you have to be in the spirit of prayer, And I haven't really been in the spirit of prayer. And I think even though I've been praying as of lately sometimes, even online, but the spirit of prayer that I used to have is not the same anymore. It goes really deep inside, and we need that. Apparently Trump prays. I don't know. Some people will say he is exercising racism. I don't know. I don't think Trump cares about black people. He just cares about Europeans, right? So basically, that's my fight with colorism is that black people don't care about black people. So I have nothing to say about Trump's behavior. Some people tell me he's just behaving like the all-American. Like a true American boy. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's just pray for the better. I fear for America. I loved America too much because America gave me too much, right? It's not that I don't love my country, Haiti. It's just that my people don't give me as much as America has given me. To watch it go down the drain because we elected a president. I know some of you will say, I'm not part of it. I didn't elect him. All right. But those of us who did, because it was a high majority, we selected a president who was angry. And we did not seek to heal. And now he's exercising that without really thinking of what he might be doing to the country and to the future. Thanks again for watching Claudine Etienne Against Colorism. Let me go to work. I thank God for another day working for the feds. I don't know how many more days. And anyway, I came here and I said what I had to say. Have a great day. Bye-bye.